In this session, how can we handle the Linux interrupts? How the Linux interrupts can be handled in the Linux operating system? How we can do that? That we will see over here. Before that, we will see the brief introduction about the interrupts. Interrupts are a signal emitted by the processor which is indicating something like a event needs to be event that needs immediate actions. For example, here we will see the interrupt with some key press, that we will see how can we create a interrupt, and how can we handle that interrupt accordingly, that we will see over here. And that using the GPIO key input, that we will see over here. If suppose we have seen something like a sys class GPIO, using that we can able to read the value of the keypad with the help of GPIO. But the thing is that it will be something like a very slow process of and it requires continuously polling of that particular attribute in order to get the changes in the respective GPIO signal. Instead of that, we can use the interrupt, which basically indicates an event which will trigger that respective action to be executed, respective handler to be called, that we can able to do that with the help of interrupts in a Linux over here. Basically, interrupts alerts that a processor for higher priority condition, so that it makes the system to work on the higher priority to handle that particular interrupt accordingly over here. And the once the interrupt has been received, if suppose the processor is executing in current code, it just suspends that current code of execution, and it saves the current register informations like stack pointer and program counter. All the registers informations will be get stored or saved, and then it executes it transfers the control to the program interrupt service routine. And once the interrupt has been handled or interrupt has been serviced, it return backs to the normal execution from where the code got suspended, and from which it will continue the execution accordingly over here. Usually there will be two types of interrupts, something like hardware interrupts and software interrupts. Hardware interrupts are basically an externally generated interrupts, and software interrupts are which will be generated internally by during the software execution. It may be due to the divide by zero, or it may be due to the illegal area access. Those kind of interrupts are software interrupts. And GPIO or external I2C network data transmitted or received, those kind of interrupts are hardware interrupts, which is basically directly linked with the hardware to emit that signal accordingly over here. In case of interrupt data flow, that data flow will be something like this. It's something like it basically suspends that current code of execution, and it saves the current state of registers like program counters and stack pointers and everything, and it moves to that function. It moves to that interrupt service routine function to execute or handle that service that particular interrupt. And once the interrupt has been completed, it returns back to the it retrieves the stored information of current state, and it returns and executes that execute back the normal, resumes that operation in a normal mode accordingly over here. The hardware interrupts are the one which is used by or internal SOC peripheral or external devices to alert the CPU, which can be used as a hardware interrupt, and it's basically referred as something like a IRQ number. It is something like an interrupt request number that will be hardware interrupts are referred with respect to the interrupt request numbers over here. And the hardware interrupts will be generated at any time in a very random and asynchronous manner. It has to so that whenever we are writing a interrupt handler, it has to be the efficient in such a way that interrupt can be handled at any time accordingly over here. And it can be hardware interrupt can occur at any point of code execution, which needs very high attention in programming the interrupts, or development of the interrupt service routine should be done with the high attention accordingly over here. Some of the example hardware interrupts signals are something like disk controller activity, and something like a mouse indicating a click events, or a key press event, or serial port data transmitted complete or data received. Those kind of interrupts or those kind of events are called hardware interrupts accordingly over here. And in case of a software interrupts, it will be something like it occurs due to the exception condition or by the special instruction set accordingly over here. For example, the system calls uses the soft interrupts generated from the user space, and it handles that in the kernel mode. The generated software interrupt will be handled in the system call handler, and the respective data will be written back to the user space accordingly in the system call handling over here. Some of the example of software interrupts are something like divide by zero, which will be generated from arithmetic logic unit of the CPU. Page fault in case of we are accessing the restricted or invalid memory or accessed during that time, page fault interrupt can occur. And the system call interrupt generation to access the device driver access with the open system call or closed system call, read and write system call. All the system calls will be generated accordingly with the respective software interrupt over here. And sometimes, if suppose there is a corrupted code which may cause the illegal instruction execution interrupt, that may be generated in case of these are all some of the software interrupts accordingly over here. Linux kernel handles that interrupt in a efficient way, like as given below. For example, if there is a hardware interrupt is occurred, all the hardware interrupts are tied or connected with the nested vector interrupt controller of the ARM SoC, and using the ARM nested vector interrupt controller, based on the priority, based on the interrupt is enabled, based on that it interrupts that ARM processor to execution. ARM processor basically runs the Linux kernel, and basically that which basically interrupts the Linux kernel, and Linux kernel checks whether there is an ISR is available for that particular IRQ or not. If it is present, and it handles all the IRQ events and run all the ISRs, that we will discuss about all the ISRs, how it can happen for a single interrupt, whether we can able to create multiple ISRs for a single interrupt. How can we do that? That we will see one by one. Currently, we will have an assumption something like it runs all the ASRs and it returns back from the interrupt, and it returns to the kernel normally and continues its operations accordingly over here. For example, if there is no IRQ or there is no ISR registered for that particular interrupt, then that particular interrupt will be just ignored and it returned from the interrupt accordingly, and it returns to the kernel for normal operations over here. And in the kernel handling, we will be having something like a handling in top of and bottom of that we will see in more detail over here. For example, yeah, maybe I can move this to down. Yeah. In order to do the registering of the interrupts, we will be having something like a function called request IRQ. That function will dash the IRQ, the interrupt request number, then the respective handler and the flags in which it has to do that, and the name of the interrupts, and that will be visible in the proc IRQ or proc interrupts accordingly over there. Yeah. And void star dev is basically an used for shared interrupt lines that we will see how we can use this device driver structure, that we can use it accordingly, and it basically returns 0 in case of if the request IRQ has been was performed good and it returned it was the registration was successful. In that case, we will be having that over here. For example, here we are going to use something like a I'm going to use something like, for example, the GPIO 67. I'm going to use it linked with the key to generate the interrupt accordingly for here. For that, I'm going to use the same character driver over here for registration. And for example, in order to do that, maybe I'm going to check for the interrupts over here, and yeah, return. I'm going to use something like a return equals something like a register underscore IRQ over here, and we have to provide something like the number we have to provide for IRQ number. We have the GPIO which is something like the GPIO number is 67. In order to convert this, but we have to provide that we have to provide the IRQ number for registration over here. For that, we have something like IRQ number to be provided. In order to convert that GPIO into IRQ, we have the function called GPIO to IRQ over here. I'm going to use GPIO 2 underscore IRQ. I'm going to give 67 is the GPIO number which I am giving over here, and I'm going to use the handler for this GPIO underscore IRQ underscore handler over here, and we will see about the flags that we will see over here. Yeah. And if return less than 0, then we will be having something like a I'm going to use cleanup IRQ over here. In this, we are going to use something like a for YY. I'm going to copy this over here. Yeah. In case of failure, it will be does the cleanup accordingly. Go to cleanup underscore IRQ over here, and print k. I'm going to provide kernel underscore info register IRQ failed over here. Slash n. Yeah. Now we have to pass the argument over here. For example, that the GPIO IRQ handler, which is something like the IRQ return underscore t, and the handler integer, the number that we will be getting, and we will be having the void data that we will be getting accordingly. I'm going to register this. Yeah. For example, GPIO IRQ handler over here. Yeah, which is something like IRQ return underscore t and integer IRQ comma void star data over here, and what we will return, that we will see, and what all the flags are available in order to make that proper registration of interrupt accordingly over here, that we will see over here. Yeah. In order to do that, we have different interrupt flags. It's something like IRQF disabled, which means that whenever we are calling this interrupt, during that time the respective interrupts or keep the IRQs will be in a disabled state when we are calling that. When the interrupt handler is calling the interrupt, the IRQs are disabled, which means that there is no other interrupt will occur in during the whenever the ISR is getting called. In that cases, we have to provide the flag of IRQF disabled, and if suppose we wanted to use or we feed the random number to be generated, and in that case we will be using the flag of IRQF sample random, that we will be using accordingly. And we will be using if suppose the single IRQ has been shared with the multiple devices or other devices, then we will be using IRQF shared, and we will be having IRQF timer that will be used in case of the interrupt has to be marked as a timer interrupt. Then we will be using IRQF timer over here, and whether if suppose the interrupt should be per CPU. For example, BeagleBone platform is a single core processor, and in case of a multi-core and multi-core and multi-processor system, then we can define whether the interrupt handling should be done on a single CPU or it can be done on any of the CPU which is present in the system. In that case, if suppose we wanted to make or align to the per CPU, then it will be we should provide the flag of IRQF per CPU over here, and then we have the option something like IRQF no balancing. In case of if it wanted to exclude this interrupt from the IRQ balancing, by Linux kernel does the IRQ balancing automatically, and if suppose we wanted to remove this interrupt handling from the IRQ balancing of Linux kernel, IRQ balancing feature of the Linux kernel, then we will be providing a flag called IRQF no balancing. And in case if suppose we wanted to use the polling for polling, then we will be using the flag called IRQ poll. And if suppose one time interrupt request, then we can use the flag called IRQF one shot over here. Now here we are going to use something like flag called IRQF shared in order to make that this particular interrupt is shared between multiple other devices that we will see over here. I am going to use IRQF underscore shared, and then we have the GPO related interrupt flags. It's something like whenever we are doing the switch with the GPIO, sysclass GPIO, whenever we are pressing the switch, the value becomes 0, which means that whenever there is no switch is pressed, the value is high, which means that there is a falling edge. It's something like by default the input, the pin will be on the high state. Whenever there is a switch press, then it will goes to the falling edge accordingly. For that, I am going to define this flag, define this interrupt as a falling edge accordingly over here, which is something like IRQF underscore something like a trigger falling over here. And we have done this. We have done the flags and name we have to configure over here, and name I am going to configure LDD IRQ, and I am going to configure, and I am going to provide something like the parent is null over here, and that will create something like if suppose parent is, if suppose we wanted to use it for shared interrupt line, that we will be providing the device driver structures of private data, that we will be providing it accordingly over here. Here I have given the argument of null in order to handle this over here, and once it is done, maybe I am going to clear this, clean up the IRQ with the help of free underscore IRQ that we will be using over here, and I am going to clean up with the free underscore IRQ, free underscore IRQ. In this I am going to use GPIO to IRQ 67, and then the argument will be null over here. Free IRQ, then null, used for shared interrupts. And whenever we are doing the interrupt handling, for example, there is a interrupt handling over here, there is a return argument, something like a IRQ return underscore T, that we will be seeing over here. IRQ return underscore T, which basically denotes whether that particular interrupt has been handled or not. For example, if suppose we are returning IRQ none, which denotes the kernel the interrupt was not for this device current interrupt handler, and it was not handled, so that if there is another interrupt registered, another handler has been registered in the same IRQ with the shared flag, then it will be the next ISR will be get called accordingly over there. And if suppose we are returning that IRQF handled, so that it means it basically denotes the Linux kernel the interrupt was handled in a proper way by the respective in that ISR itself. There is no further need of calling another ISRs are required, so that it will not call the another ISR. If suppose we are returning IRQ none, then it will call the next ISR which is registered for this particular interrupt, interrupt request number, that will be get called accordingly. over here. Now we are going to return back the IRQF handled, so that which means the interrupt was handled properly in the over here, IRQF underscore handled over here. Yeah, I'm going to use handled, IRQ underscore handled over here. Yeah. In this I'm going to use print k interrupt occurred, ISR called over here. Yeah. Now I'm going to compile this. For example, in order to do that, I'm going to use register underscore IRQ, where it was defined, request IRQ. It was defined in Linux interrupt.h over here. Yeah. This will be something like request IRQ. Inside that we will be having include Linux / interrupt.h over here. Yeah. Now I am going to compile this. There is a GPIO to IRQ. There is no function declared. Maybe I am going to check for this, where it was defined GPIO underscore to underscore IRQ. This will be something like Linux GPIO.h. It has been defined, and I am going to add this. Include Linux / GPIO.h over here. Yeah. Make. Yeah. Now it got built. I am going to insert this over here. CD / BBB character drive over here. rmmod character drv.ko. I just insmod that, and I am going to insmod character drv.ko. It was register IRQ failed because operation not permitted. Yeah. We will be having something like a request underscore IRQ that we will be using over here. Maybe I shall check whether it was already defined. Proc. Maybe there will be something sys class GPIO, and it was already exported. Because of that, we have this issue. Echo 67 unexport over here, and echo. Yeah. Since it's something like character DRV over here, now it was already exported as a GPIO, and we are trying to request that. Because of that, we are getting the error, and I am going to insmod it again now. Character drv.ko D message. Yeah. GPIO to IRQ cat/proc interrupts over here. Here we have an IRQF GPIO to IRQ number, which is 67 is the GPIO over here, and which is something like GPIO underscore 2 underscore IRQ. This pointer will be used for device driver private data that will not be issued over there, and request GPIO underscore okay. do something like a request IRQ failed %d comma GPIO 2 underscore IRQ of 67 is failed. Yeah. I am building it again. In smart character drv.ko, it is something like a IRQ failed of GPIO, and I am going to add something like a return equals request GPIO 67 comma LDD IRQ if return less than 0 print k kernel underscore info request GPIO failed over here %d/n comma return over here and go to cleanup underscore IRQ over here. Make GPIO underscore request. Yeah, I'm going to do it's something like it has to fetch that this says -16 with something like we will be having something like a it was GPIO GPIO request is failing, and the GPIO to IRQ over here. Maybe I will comment this one. The request request IRQ, in that we will be having union -r, which is 4.19.94, 4.19.94 is the kernel. And this will be having request underscore IRQ over here. Drivers DH11. at cdev here. With respect to this, was GPO request is getting failed over here, and maybe is valid. the actually the request was getting failed. In order to get that, I'm to register the interrupt. It's something that we will see over here, that what are all the interrupts it was defined, already registered with the help of cat proc IRQ. It got registered with that 16, 17 and those things. Cat proc interrupts, which has something like a 16 the level number. Has been registered, but here MMC card direct has been registered with the 56. TPS 65217 interrupt has been registered with the 57 over here, and maybe we have something like a TPS it's something some kind of a conflict happened over here, and that we will see. Support pre-built images, AM335X, a bone black .dtb plus -L, CP, CP over here, and I am going to load with this default one over here. reboot.